All right, this is Mr. Wyrick. I'm going to go through this spring final exam review. On this first one, we're looking at quadrilaterals, and they are similar, which is going to mean they're in proportion. It's pretty important on this one to just set it up as little over big for both of them. So we kind of look at the corresponding sides. We have LM here. Here's the letters LM, so PR is going to match up to that. So that's 17 over 52, the little one over the big one. And that's going to be equal to the little one. We have MJ there at 31 over the big one of RN. That's X right here. We're going to cross multiply these. I don't have my calculator ready to go, so it's just going to be 52 times 31 is equal to 17 times X. We would divide to make that finish up and be at just X. So whatever 52 times 31 divided by 17 is, that's going to give you your answer. When you have one like this, it's actually a lot easier to just go straight across. And I always draw the arrows with it when I go straight across to make sure that I'm comparing them the same way. So 5.1 is to X, as 6.9 is to 5.1. Again, we cross multiply. So that's going to be 6.9x is equal to 5.1 times 5.1. So we would divide by 6.9. So whatever 5.1 times 5.1 divided by 6.9 is, that's going to be our answer here. On this, we're using the trig functions. That's SOHCAHTOA. So it's kind of important to remember which one is which. From my angle, I come out like this. This is my opposite side. Across from the 90-degree angle, this is my hypotenuse. And here's my adjacent side. I'm not using the adjacent, so this can't be cosine or tangent. It has to be sine. So I would set this up as the sine of 64 is equal to the opposite side. That would be 8.5 over my hypotenuse, which is going to be the X, the one that I don't know. In this case, because of the way they're written, I know that this is X is going to be equal to 8.5 divided by the sine of 64. Okay. The only other thing that's important on this one is you got to make sure that when you go into Desmos, okay, you're working this on Desmos, whatever, you got to go over here in the settings and you got to make sure that you are in degree mode, or it's going to give you all kinds of wrong answers. So be super careful on that. Okay, going to the next page. Again, this one's going to be the trig. So actually both of these next two. Sine equals opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. Tangent is opposite over adjacent. Here's my angle. I don't have this opposite side. So that gets rid of sine and tangent right there. This is going to be cosine. So the cosine of 31 is equal to, here's my adjacent side, is equal to my adjacent side of X over my hypotenuse of 96. I would multiply both sides by 96. So this is going to be 96 times the cosine of 31 is going to give me that side there. Okay. On this one, solve for X round to the nearest tenth. Same kind of thing. I have my opposite side here when I come across from my 90-degree angle. This is my hypotenuse, and my hypotenuse is missing. That takes away sine and cosine. So it has to be tangent. So the tangent of that 23-degree angle is equal to the opposite side of 9.5 over the adjacent of X. X is on the bottom of the fraction. I'm going to swap these out. So X is equal to 9.5 over the tangent of 23 is going to give me my answer. Find the midpoint of the segment with the following endpoints. All you have to do is add the X's together and divide by 2. And then add the Y's together and divide by 2. Oh, I don't know why I was trying to write 4. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 divided by 2 is going to be 5.5. 6, 7, 8. 8 divided by 2 is going to be 4. So that point is exactly in the middle of those two things. Midpoint is just what it sounds like. On this one, little thing here, we're finding the length of this. So we have to find the circumference all the way around. That's 2 times pi times the radius. And then we're going to multiply that by the angle that we have out of 360. Okay, sorry, I'm not even filming that. I'm just writing it on the paper. So that's 2 times pi times the radius for the circumference. And then I'm going to multiply that times the angle out of 360. So this one, my radius is 14. So 14 times 2, that's 28 pi. And then I'm going to multiply that by my 60 out of 360. So whatever I get from this, like that's what I'm looking for on this one. Okay, it'll be a number. On this one, we're doing area. Area of a whole circle is pi r squared. And then again, we're going to multiply that by the angle that we have out of 360. So on this one, my radius is 20. 20 squared is 400, so we have 400 pi. And then we're going to multiply that by my 46 degrees out of 360. And that should give us our answer when we type it in. Determine the equation of a circle with a radius of 9 and a center of -1, -8. This goes x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. HK is that center. So this is the h, this is the k, and then this over here, the radius, that's the r. So x minus a -1 is going to be x plus 1 squared plus y minus a -8, same thing as y plus 8 squared is equal to, my radius is 9, 9 squared is 81. So there it is. If you have the formula, you should be able to get that one without too much trouble. This is the exact same thing. It just doesn't tell us the point exactly. So it's still x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. HK is the center, which is going to be right here. So that's x minus 3 squared plus, and I can either put y minus 0 or I can just put y, is equal to, my radius is 1, 2, 3. So 3 squared is going to be 9. So this is the equation of that circle. What's the volume of a cylinder? Volume of a cylinder, the formula for that is pi r squared for the base, the circle that's at the base of it, multiplied by the height. In this one, they give you the diameter of 17.2, so that's going to be a radius of 8.6. We'll square that, we'll take that times pi, and then we'll multiply that by the height of 16.5. That's going to give us our answer on that one. Find the volume of a right circular cone. This one is pi r squared times the height, just like the cylinder, but you got to multiply it by 1/3. So this is 1/3 pi times the radius of 9.4 squared times my height of 5.6. Type that whole thing in, that'll get you your answer there. This one, it doesn't have the words to it, but it asks what would happen if you rotated this around. So you'd end up with something like this in the middle, an opening that it goes 1, 2. You can kind of faintly see the lines there. So this one is the only one that's standing up properly, because this would rotate around like this. So it's kind of like a standing up paper towel roll or toilet paper roll. This one, the opening is too big. This one, the opening is just right. It's at 2, and that's what we had here was 1, 2. So C is going to be our correct answer there. Let's see if I can get the page to turn on the next page. Miss Bell's mathematics class has 9 sophomores, 6 juniors, 12 seniors. How many ways can she create a 3-member committee of juniors? So this is just out of juniors. If it's a committee, it doesn't matter what order. Okay, if the order matters, that's a permutation. If the order does not matter, then that's going to be our combination. Okay, this one, since it's a committee, it doesn't matter what order you get picked. That's N capital C lowercase r, and this is from the 6 juniors, we're going to pick 3 of them. So this is what you would type in: lowercase n, capital C, lowercase r, 6,3. 10 different actors auditioning for the roles of Larry, Curly, and Moe. How many ways could the roles be cast? Again, this one, the order matters. You being Larry is not the same as you being Curly or being Moe. So this is NPR. And from those 10, we are choosing 3. Okay. More probability stuff. Express probability. Student chosen at random will play an instrument other than keyboard as a percent to the nearest whole number. So over here, that's 21, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. And over here, 9 plus 8 is 17, plus 7 is 24, 34, 38. So the whole thing is out of 73. Instrument other than keyboard, well, there's 9 keyboard players. So if I just subtract 9 from this 73, that's going to give me 64. So I would put 64 out of 73 in there. Percent to the nearest whole number, I'd have to move the decimal 2 places, and then I'm good from there. Bag contains 8 red marbles, 4 blue marbles. You randomly pick a marble, then return it to the bag before picking another marble. First one's red, the second one's blue. So the first one being red, that's 8 out of the 12. And then I would need to multiply that. It says the second marble's blue. There's 4 of those, and I put the marble back, so I still have 12 in the bag. Next one says a bag of 23 marbles. Thank you. That's going to be 23 on the bottom of my fraction. I pull 3 marbles out of the bag individually without replacement. What's the probability the first marble is red? That's 6 out of those 23. The second one is blue. I took away a red, so I'm down to 22, but I didn't take away any of the blue ones, so I still have 7 there. And then the third one is green. Again, I've taken away 2 marbles. I'm down to 21, but I haven't taken away any green ones. It should still be 9 there. Okay, so I would multiply those all together. That would give me my answer, convert to fraction, or whatever I need to do. Let's see. Randomly survey juniors and seniors. What's the probability the surveyed student is a senior or is attending the concert? So seniors are going to be across this way. 77 and 37 of them. I'm going to kind of ignore the total for a second because it says is attending the concert. That would be this column, which is 42 and 77. So the probability there, it's going to be out of the full possible 220 from everybody I asked, but it's going to be 42 plus 77 plus 37 to get that whole answer there. And I think we're approaching the end here. Yes. One last question. Data is examined from a local gym. The probability the patron uses the track was 0.72 or 72%. Probability the patron used the weight room was 0.61 or 61%. Probability that they did both was 36%. What is the probability of weight room given track? The probability the patron used the weight room given that they used the track. So remember, it's always possible outcomes out of, or sorry, oh my gosh, I'm getting this upside down. It's always favorable outcomes out of possible outcomes. So the possible outcomes are limited to just the people that used the track, which is 72%. So my 0.72 goes on the bottom. And then the probability that they use the weight room given that they use the track means they are using both. So the people that used both were that 0.36. So I should be 0.36 out of 0.72. And then I can reduce that down. That one I actually know that one should be 0.50 or 50% or 1/2, whatever they want to say on that one. Okay, hopefully this kind of guides you through. Remember, this is a YouTube video. You can speed it up, slow it down, pause it, do what you need to get the stuff written down. Ask any questions about what you need, and good luck on your test.